Hi, my name is Mohammed. I go to Brooklyn Technical High School and I'm a rising junior. My project is the MIDI controller, and the musical instrument digital interface controller, or the MIDI controller, is a device that creates and sends MIDI data to various software like a digital audio workstation to produce sounds and effects using buttons, knobs, and sliders. My third milestone is to get the software working for my MIDI controller, because I needed the digital audio workstation to accept my MIDI inputs from my MIDI controller. In order to get my MIDI controller working, I needed it to send out MIDI signals, which are used as inputs in digital audio workstations. However, my MIDI controller only sends serial messages using the Arduino. And to solve this issue, I needed two pieces of software, one called Loop MIDI and the other called the Hairless MIDI to Serial Bridge. The Loop MIDI software would create a MIDI port, which would be used by the Hairless MIDI to Serial Bridge to connect the Arduino port to the MIDI port, and this would allow the serial signals to be converted to MIDI signals. I had problems concerning which digital audio workstation to use. At first, I used LMMS, which is an open source digital audio workstation, but it was unable to recognize the MIDI inputs. So I moved on and I decided to use a different digital audio workstation, and that was Tractor Pro 3. And luckily it was able to accept my MIDI signals from my MIDI controller. It took a while to get the MIDI signals for my MIDI controller to work, as software problems occurred. And my next milestone would be to finish up my MIDI controller